Well, this video is about to be toxic. Sanji fans, how you doing, Sanji fans? You guys doing good? I personally think you would be because, I mean, let's be honest, there's been a lot of great developments with Sanji. First, he got a power-up that gave him an overall stat boost and made him look really awesome. Then he started looking good against Seraphim Jinbei. Then he got an amazing fight in the anime against Queen, even though Zoro completely outshined that and just made it look like it was child's play. But hey, I mean, it's still a good moment. I mean, I'm not downplaying it. I'm just saying. But now Sanji's finally looking good again in the post-time skip, looking like a genuine threat. This is something Sanji fans have been waiting for a really long time. Sanji has finally gotten his respect back. Now people are saying, he can beat King, he can beat Katakuri, he can beat Marco. Which brings us to today's topic, Sanji versus King. A lot of people, the majority of the fan base seems like that they think that Sanji can beat King. And I tell you what, I absolutely disagree with you. All of you. Look, I'm glad that Sanji is finally getting some respect. Rightfully so. But what I don't like is how the fandom is treating this. It's tainted with a bunch of wanking, false statements, dishonesty, manipulation, and just overall trash power scaling in general. I mean, seriously guys, you got comments like this going around the internet saying, honestly, I think they are probably around equal in terms of durability. So you're saying Sanji and King are equal in terms of durability? Why do I see this comment around everywhere? I keep seeing people say, oh, Sanji and King, they're equal in terms of durability. They're so close. There's no gap whatsoever. It's like, hold on, y'all about to. So yeah, Sanji, the guy with the exoskeleton, right? The same thing that his brothers and his sister also have, the exoskeleton, the thing that can be pierced by candy bullets, is equivalent to that of a Lunarian with his flames on. Right? That's what we're saying, right? That's what we're going with. That's the narrative, correct? They're the equivalent of King taking a Conqueror's Haki coated slash and taking no damage from it with his flames on. That's the level that we're speaking on. And I know some of you are gonna go around saying, oh no, Sanji's exoskeleton is stronger than his brothers and sister. It's stronger. All right, prove it. You can't. You can't prove it. I promise you can't do it. You will never do it. You will never be able to prove that point. I saw someone on the internet trying to argue that no, stop it. It's disgusting. What are you doing? You're making stuff up that's not even part of the story, at least yet. So let's discuss further about Sanji's Lunarian level durability. Now let's take somebody else for example, Katakuri. You know, the guy that you guys love to trash talk nowadays for absolutely no reason whatsoever, just because you want to be a contrarian for the sake of being a contrarian, saying crazy stuff like, Katakuri is absolutely trash. Katakuri can beat nobody. Katakuri is weaker than Queen, or he's close to Queen. Oh, is that so? Well, let me ask you this question. So when he was beating Ichiji's tail, you know, the guy who has the exact same durability as Sanji, and Ichiji was sitting there writhing in pain. And need I remind you that Ichiji also had his raid suit on, which grants extra durability on top of the exoskeleton. So you got Katakuri beating this man down, and Ichiji has the exact same durability as Sanji. Actually, he had more because he had the raid suit on. And you're gonna tell me that this is Lunarian level durability? That Katakuri can harm someone like King with his flames on, plus more. That's what you're giving me right now? That doesn't sound too smart now, does it? Now let's take another person's comment on Twitter. This guy's name is Mr. Prince, clearly not a Sanji fan whatsoever. And he says, endurance. Sanji was conscious after getting all bones broken and his organs mangled. That is true. That is impressive. Sanji does have an exoskeleton. That's what the exoskeleton does. It's malleable, kind of like metal. It can bend and so on and so forth, right? So, moving on, while King was down after getting a wing cut off and a cut through the chest, it's very clear who takes endurance. What kind of hits did he take, Mr. Prince? What kind of hits did he take? He took Conqueror's Haki hits, and not only that, he took 3 of them until he went down. Usually, most people that we see in the series who are not Yonko level, they take only 1, and then they go down. That's usually what happens. King, with his flames off, took 3 slashes of Conqueror's Haki from Zoro. Now, Zoro doesn't have as strong as Conqueror's Haki as Luffy or Kaido or Big Mom, but Conqueror's coding is no joke nonetheless. So he took 3 of those. That in of itself is impressive. You know what? I'm in a disrespectful mood right now. So let's just say hypothetically, Zoro was to hit Sanji. Current day Sanji with the exoskeleton and all that. He was to hit Sanji with Conqueror's coding. How many hits do you think till Sanji would go down? I would probably argue maybe 1. Yep, I went there. I mean, when you think about it, Katakuri can already damage Sanji with his raid suit on, as well as this exoskeleton, which he already did to his brother. What you think Zoro gonna do with Conqueror's coding? The guy who hits harder than Katakuri. Heck, even Queen damaged Sanji. Where did this durability, endurance with Sanji nonsense come from? You guys are crazy. Sanji took an internal damage attack from Seraphim Jinbei, which means that Sanji has resistance to Duraneg. How do you know this isn't just a regular punch? How do you know? What made you guys think that this was Vagabond Drill or Demon Brick Fist? What made you guys think this? Oh, that's right. It was the agenda. It wasn't common sense. It truthfully was not. And before you start going around saying, oh, the Seraphim don't talk, so we wouldn't know what type of attack it was. Seraphim Boa got something to say to you. A lot of something to say to you. Yes, sir, I'm about to lose some subs today, boy. What we gonna talk about next? What about this joker right here? When you realize Diablo Jambe is a Duraneg, and Ifrit is just a hockey amped version of Diablo. So if Killer with Cycler Sonic can damage Kaido, Sanji with Ifrit can damage Kaido. Takai basically just amps your durability and endurance when Sanji used it on Jabra. He managed to completely negate Jabra's Takai, which is his Ryoku Shiki specialty, like Kaku with Ryankyaku, Lucci with Shigan, Fukuro with Soru, meaning Sanji's Diablo Jambe is a Duraneg, since Jabra was burnt internally, and even going as far to state Takai doesn't work. Yeah, man, that's crazy. Who would have thought that fire could actually burn flesh? That's buck wild, dude. Sanji's incredible, man. So I guess that means when Luffy had punched through Blueno's Takai and Lucci's Takai, that's Duraneg, right? I swear people use the term Duraneg for every single little thing nowadays in the power scaling community. Break your controller playing Overwatch 2? Duraneg. Poke a hole through your pillow with a needle? Duraneg. Piss on a piece of paper and the liquid comes out the other side? Duraneg. Everything is Duraneg when it does anything. Let's go back to this comment that said that they're equal in terms of durability. He says, Sanji edges out in speed right after that. Okay, quick question. How do you know? Okay, look. Yes, I know he perception blitzed Queen. I know Sanji is dumb fast. We all know this. This is not really a question. And also in Egghead Island, he outsped a lightspeed laser. Now that's another thing. Here's the problem though. Both King and Sanji were not able to be seen by their respective opponents because of how fast they were moving. Zoro couldn't see King, Queen couldn't see Sanji. So they both perception blitzed someone in commander level tier. Okay, that is impressive for both of them. But how do you know Sanji specifically edges it out? I know because of that feat in Egghead Island, people like to think that, oh, Sanji's faster than Kizaru. And people tend to think that Kizaru's the fastest in the verse because Sanji outdid a lightspeed laser. But let's be real here. We have way too many lightspeed feats in One Piece. We have a lot in which goes completely ignored, by the way, just saying. I mean, guys, Marco outsped lightspeed in Marineford. Kizaru fired a lightspeed attack and Marco flew in the way of those lightspeed attacks that were being aimed towards Whitebeard, and he blocked every single one of them before they can even get to him. He has to be at least relative or faster than those lightspeed lasers. Same thing with Sanji. So the question still remains, how do you know he's above King? One Piece has a stupid amount of lightspeed feats, but that's a video for another day. I'm not going to talk about who's the fastest in the verse right now. Everyone says Kizaru. I'm not going to talk about that right now. All I'm saying is that there's no real way to know this. They both perception blitz somebody, Zoro being a higher level than Queen, throwing that out there, but I do kind of want to give it to Sanji, but I can't really give it to Sanji. You know what I mean? But people are going to force that narrative because they're not about the truth. They're about the whatever. If you want to go and say that Sanji is as fast as Snake Man, guess what? You're going to have to prove that. And it's kind of hard to do that because let's be real. Who is better? Queen or the strongest creature in the world? Kaido had a problem dealing with Snake Man's speed. So much so that he had to pull a Katakuri and use Future Sight. But you're gonna tell me that Sanji is Snake Man fast. I don't know about all that. You're gonna have to prove it first, buddy. Basically, the point is, I think that King can beat Sanji. But I do think it's a high div fight. Sanji would have to find certain ways to actually hit King when his guard is down, when his flames are off. But Sanji does not hit as hard as Zoro, so it's going to be a lot more challenging. But I do believe it's a high diff fight in favor of specifically King. The only problem that I have is that a lot of people tend to rank Sanji to degrees that don't even make any logical freaking sense. And I'm not going to sit here and just stand for that garbage. Like, come on, really? I mean, you got one poll of a YouTuber asking, who's the weakest out of these four? Sanji, Yamato, Marco, or Shiryu? Why in the hell did most of the votes go to Shiryu? Zoro's future opponent is weaker than Sanji. You know, there's a level of stupidity with that answer. There's a level of stupidity with that. Makes no freaking sense. And even if Zoro's future opponent is not Shiryu, even if this is like Sanji's future opponent, makes no freaking sense. Y'all know that's dumb. I mean, people aren't crazy enough to say things like, oh, Sanji's stronger than Yamato. People aren't that crazy either. People aren't that, because y'all know Yamato would smack Sanji. You know, and I am a Yamato hater, and I'm telling you what it is. And Marco, well, people have their opinions on Marco too, but I'm just gonna ignore that one in particular. But this whole thing, like people in this fandom are wild. There's a lot of Sanji wank, too much Sanji wank. And to say that Shiryu's weaker than Sanji? I didn't know LSD was free. Y'all should have told me. Look, this video is not a shot at people who think that Sanji can beat King. This video is a shot at people who genuinely suck at power scaling, so much so that you're basically like a Naruto fan where you just sit here and make up a bunch of junk without actually reading the goddamn source material. Don't be like a Naruto fan. I saw one dude the other day say that the father-son Rasengan was universal. We gotta stop this before we get to that level, because that level ain't it. We're all free to have our own opinions, and I'm free to tell you that you're wrong. We got enough set the programmers here running around power scaling like trash and diddling kids. We don't need any more. But anyways, guys, make sure you rate the video, subscribe, and leave your hate comments down below. I hope to do more power scaling videos like this in the future. But anyways, with all that being said, Vagabond gone.